When we last encountered Robby Gordon on this channel, he was a 27-year-old IndyCar driver preparing to leave for NASCAR, while publicly trashing his team's Ford engines at every chance he could get. But he wouldn't stay away from open wheel for long. After a lackluster start to his full-time NASCAR career, he made 36 more starts in kart, as well as starting all but one Indy 500 from 1997 through 2004. At the turn of the millennium, he finally made a permanent move to stock cars, where in 2001, he finds himself with a golden opportunity at Sears Point Raceway.
Jim Long, you guys have followed a very specific strategy. Tell us about it and what you do from here on in.
Well, there's nothing to do but stay out right now. It's all up to him. The Nation's Rent Ford's been running great today, and I'm going to tell you, it's all up to him.
I know.
Whoa, he goes! He goes and he gets the lead! Robby Gordon gets the lead!
I tell you, looks like the 29 car's in, and if that inspector is doing what I think he's doing, he's going to be holding him right there.
Thanks to a speeding penalty, Winston Cup rookie Kevin Harvick is held by NASCAR just long enough to come off of pit road right in front of Robby Gordon.
Yes!
Just what I was afraid of.
Not what Robby Gordon needs right now.
No, it's not. And of course, you know, Harvick's got fresh tires. He's going to get around him, but it's going to cost Robby a lot of time.
As Darrell Waltrip says in the booth, Harvick has fresh tires and is faster than all of the leaders at the moment. As he tries to find a way around the 7, Robby says over the radio, to which crew chief Jim Long responds, when Jeff Gordon locks up his tires into the hairpin, allowing Tony Stewart to take second place, Robby and Kevin get well clear of the pack. The smart play would be for Robby to let Kevin by now to ensure they don't get caught up racing each other when Stewart closes in. When Kevin gets to his inside out of turn 4, it looks like he'll do just that. But instead, he blocks the 29, forcing him back to the outside.
Robby, you need to let him go, buddy.
Or he'll harass you to death.
Or you're going to have problems.
That's fresher tires, Robby. He is a lap down with fresher tires, all clear.
Now see, that Robby doesn't need this.
Yeah, come on, Tom, kick back a little.
The battle rages on, and Robby says, but Kevin is not backing off.
As the leaders climb the hill, and again, Harvick is just all over Robby Gordon. All over, I mean all over him.
I'm telling you, if I was a spotter, I'd be saying, let him go.
Jim Long heads to the 29 team's pit box and tries to strike a deal with Richard Childress to end this. But it seems Robby is insistent on staying ahead.
Let him go right here, let him go right here, let him go.
Despite Darrell Waltrip's pleas from the booth, Robby refuses to give Kevin an inch. Tony Stewart has closed in on them, and if they get side by side, Tony could get past both of them. Just as the caution comes out for a wounded Ron Fellows, Robby runs wide in turn 4 again. This time, he doesn't block, as the 29 is too close for comfort. Harvick uses this to his advantage, getting into the back bumper of the 7, sending Robby wide. Robby Gordon has two choices at this moment. He can put the pedal to the floor and try his best to outrun Harvick as well as the oncoming Tony Stewart. Or, he could turn his steering wheel to the right and let Harvick know how pissed off he is, race lead be damned. And if you know Robby Gordon, you know what he's about to do.
Caution's out.
Stewart, get past Gordon. Here they come, they're running to the caution.
You see, this is just what drives me crazy. Robby Gordon is worried about a lap car, and he lets Tony Stewart take the lead.
Robby comes home in second place behind Tony Stewart. His first NASCAR win will have to wait, but not too long.
Let's keep an eye on this.
Oh, Robby Gordon got into the back of Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon dominating, but it's Robby Gordon who's going to score the victory. 5th first-time winner in Winston Cup competition this year.
Robby Gordon's first Winston Cup win came in typical Robby Gordon fashion, knocking somebody out of the way. The win came in the 31 car for Richard Childress Racing, the same team he was mixing it up with in July. All 3 of his Cup Series wins would come with RCR as he swept the 2 road course races in 2003. By 04, he's left RCR to form his own team, Robby Gordon Motorsports, where he both wins a Busch Series race and gets into it with Michael Waltrip twice over the course of a full year. Robby's reputation had solidified over the past 10 years as both a bit of a hothead and a road course specialist, and one race would define this better than any other across his racing career.
It's one of the most spectacular settings you will see in NASCAR, the city skyline of Montreal, just beyond the St. Lawrence River, framing Notre Dame Island, and the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, where over 80,000 fans have come to watch the NASCAR Busch Series race on this demanding 14-turn road course.
For the first time since 1958, NASCAR has come north of the border. The Busch Series is at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, on a man-made island nestled inside the St. Lawrence River for the first annual Napa Auto Parts 200. This race is already very unique, and not just because of its location. Not only is it a road course race where guys like Robby can excel, it's a standalone Busch race the day before the Nextel Cup Series races over 300 miles away in Pocono, so a bunch of the regular Busch Series drivers, on account of also being full-time Cup drivers, aren't here. This allows a plethora of road course ringers to get a chance in top-level equipment that they otherwise wouldn't. Road course ringers aren't as prevalent these days, with the massive exception of Shane Van Gisbergen, but back in the late 90s and 2000s, they were all over the place. See, back then your average Cup Series driver kinda sucked at road courses, so if a team was struggling in the owner points standings, they'd call up a professional road racer to take over at Sonoma or Watkins Glen, and they would make sure you noticed them. In both 1999 and 2004, Ron Fellows finished second at Watkins Glen. P.J. Jones finished fourth there in 2002. Boris Said, Scott Pruitt, I could go on for a while. But suffice it to say, there are guys in the field today who rarely ever race stock cars, yet have a very real chance of winning. Let's meet some of them now. Mike Bliss, who wasn't a Cup driver in 2007, was pulled from Armando Fitz's 22 car in favor of hometown driver Patrick Carpentier, who's looking to move to NASCAR after spending the past 10 years in open wheel racing. This is his first big shot to make some noise in the NASCAR world, and he'll do it from pole position. JJ Yaley, who's busy in Pocono, hands off the Phoenix Racing 1 car to another open wheeler interested in NASCAR, Max Papis. It's the Italian's first time back in Montreal since 2003, where he ran his final kart race, the series in which he won 3 races. He's also coming off a 7th place at the 24 Hours of Daytona for Corvette Racing, a ride he shared with Ron Fellows, the second Canadian on the grid today. Ron's become a very well-known road course ringer, as he's ran the road courses in the Cup Series every year since 1995, twice placing second at Watkins Glen. The NASCAR crowd knows him best for winning 3 Busch races at the Glen in 4 years, all of which came for Joe Nemechek's Nemco Motorsports. Today, though, he's with Kevin Harvick Incorporated, in a car usually split by Cup drivers Harvick, Tony Stewart, and Tony Raines, along with prospect Cale Gale. Harvick is in today's race, in the Richard Childress 21, but he's starting at the back of the field. Probably the single most well-known road course ringer in NASCAR history is Boris Said. Well, he hasn't won a NASCAR race yet. Just a few weeks ago, he was famously on track to win the pole for the Pepsi 400 before rain washed out the end of qualifying, causing him to miss the race entirely. At Montreal, he's in the Evernham 9 car, which was driven by Casey Kane for the bulk of the Busch Series season. Rounding out the top 5 is a full-time Busch Series driver, but one who knows his way around the road courses nonetheless. Marcus Ambrose has jumped across the Pacific from the Australian V8 supercars to enter NASCAR, and sits 10th in the point standings in his rookie year. Outside the top 5, more ringers are scattered throughout the field. Sports car driver Scott Pruitt, Swedish driver Nicholas Jansson, IndyCar driver Michel Jourdain Jr., and British racer Andy Pilgrim. Andy had driven alongside Dale Earnhardt and Dale Jr. in the 2001 24 Hours of Daytona, just weeks before Dale's death in the Daytona 500. After the 24, Dale told Andy that he'd find him a stock car ride one day, and 6 years later, Junior made good on his father's word, getting Andy into the 88 car for the then brand new Junior Motorsports.
Well, it wasn't really a promise. I know it was an interest of my father's that he would like to have seen Andy, you know, because everybody else was doing it, Ron and Boris and those guys, and he was interested to see what Andy would do in the car. So we had a window of an opportunity when we changed our drivers in the Busch car with Huffman going out and Keselowski coming in, so we decided to do it.
There were also a handful of Canadians in the field aside from the aforementioned Carpentier and Fellows. Grand Am driver Michael Valiante, Cascar Staples DJ Kennington and J.R. Fitzpatrick, Maritime Motorsports Hall of Famer Michael McKenzie, road racer John Graham, and a 49-year-old Trevor Boyes. Mixed in are the full-time Cup drivers who plan on flying to Pennsylvania once the race is done. Kevin Harvick, Jeff Burton, Greg Biffle, and Busch Points leader Carl Edwards, among others. And in the middle of it all is Robby Gordon, who rolls off of pit road in his 55 Camping World Ford in 11th place.
Carpentier and Pappas lead him down. Enjoy the start for Montreal.
Almost immediately, the tone for the day is identified when Scott Pruitt slams into the back of Max Pappas in the opening set of corners. Max falls from 2nd to 6th, as Robby Gordon falls to 13th behind the leaders before quickly surging back to 10th before the first lap is done. While the caution won't come out in the first 30 laps, that doesn't mean everybody will run clean, as demonstrated when Nicholas Janssen gets into the back of Michel Jourdain Jr., sending him into Ron Hornaday in Montreal's famous hairpin. A bit ironic, as the common belief is that road course ringers are much better at braking than the NASCAR regulars. Patrick Carpentier continues to lead, but the hairpin provides trouble once again, as Boris Said nearly sends him around. Just a lap later, Boris takes first place from the local favorite. He pits from the lead on lap 11, and P1 becomes a revolving door of pit strategy. Ron Fellows, Patrick Carpentier, and Nicholas Janssen all take turns at the front before Scott Pruitt settles into first place on lap 19.
So after the cycle of pit stops, check this out. Scott Pruitt comes out ahead of Boris Said, and Pruitt is the race leader.
He also pitted earlier, which means his stop was a little quicker than everybody else.
Marcus Ambrose takes second away from Boris Said and begins to chase down Pruitt. As the battle for the lead intensifies, the points leader Carl Edwards pulls off the track with a rear truck arm failure. Moments later, Ambrose takes the lead.
Scott Pruitt getting all kinds of pressure here. Is Ambrose going to try him for the lead? Here he is, inside. Nice move, Marcus Ambrose.
30 laps in, oil on the track brings out the race's first caution, allowing the drivers a breather and the teams a choice on whether or not to pit. Ambrose, Fellows, Carpentier, Pappas, and Robby Gordon stay out, and will make up the top 5 for the restart. On pit exit, Stephen Wallace goes off the track and into the wall under caution. Those well-versed in Stephen Wallace's reputation will not be surprised to see this. He's not the only one to have trouble under yellow, as Michael Valiante's transmission fails, ending his day. He'll finish 34th, joining 10 others in not making it past the first 30 laps of the race. Unfortunately for the NASCAR fans, this includes DJ Kennington and J.R. Fitzpatrick. On the restart, the whole field makes it through the opening corners, but Nicholas Janssen gets into the side of Jorge Getters in the subsequent chicane. Inside the top 5 for the first time all day, Robby Gordon is all over Max Pappas looking for 4th place. Despite a hit to the rear bumper in classic Robby fashion, Pappas holds firm. Just a few laps after crashing under caution, Stephen Wallace's engine expires, bringing out caution number 2. This does raise the possibility that his off-track excursion was the fault of mechanical gremlins rather than driver error, but when it's Stephen Wallace, who can really say for sure?
I'd do anything in the world to buy some luck right now. I'm about the most unluckiest person, I think, on the face of the planet besides being able to race a race car every weekend, but it's just nothing goes my way.
Most of the leaders pit under yellow, with the exception of Carpentier and Said. RCR teammates and Cup regulars Kevin Harvick and Jeff Burton take no tires and jump up to the front of the field, though they restart behind the 7 drivers that stayed out. When the green flag flies, Harvick drifts off into the grass but is able to keep going. One by one, the 8 that stayed out peel off to make their final pit stops, and Marcus Ambrose's pass on Kevin Harvick will turn out to be for the lead. By the 48th lap, Ambrose is first, Harvick is second, and Robby Gordon is 5th. With 20 to go, Harvick falls to 4th behind Scott Pruitt and Ron Fellows before Jorge Getters crashes, bringing out the race's 3rd caution. After the restart, the top 5 have separated themselves from the pack, but Harvick and Gordon soon fall behind. With 11 to go, Robby Gordon once again finds himself in the closing stages of a road course race with Kevin Harvick to his right. Uninterested in breaking old habits, Robby slams into the side of the 21 as he goes by. Ahead of them, both Ron Fellows and Scott Pruitt completely miss the hairpin, allowing Robby to take 2nd place as the caution comes out for more oil on the track. While we're under this caution and the 2 Camping World cars are next to each other, I want to emphasize that this, the 55 Ford, is Robby Gordon, and this, the 33 Chevrolet, is Ron Fellows. Just in case anybody out there has been confused. Marcus Ambrose, looking for his very first NASCAR win, leads both of them to the restart with just 4 laps to go.
Harvick inside of Pruitt for 4th place. Pruitt shuts the door on him. Harvick hits him back, and he gets Fellows. Big pile up down in turn 2.
Took out his teammate. Took out his own car,
They're still running into each other trying to get through it. Brad Coleman involved, Ron Hornaday involved, and up front, Robby Gordon by Ambrose, who goes back on him. Caution flags waving.
Okay. A lot just happened. Let's try to break it all down. Kevin Harvick gets to the right side of Scott Pruitt, and out of turn 1, Pruitt does his best to cut Harvick off, making contact with him in the process. Harvick responds to this by spinning Pruitt out. This collects Ron Fellows, Jeff Burton, Brad Coleman, and Ron Hornaday, while forcing everyone else to take evasive action. Ahead of all this, Robby Gordon passes Marcus Ambrose for the lead off camera. Based on when the caution graphic is shown on ESPN, Robby might have made this move under yellow. But in the very next corner, Marcus takes him out, and since Robby doesn't maintain caution speed while the field goes past him, his shot at the win is over. But Robby doesn't see it that way. He fires his car up and drives back to 2nd place on track, nudging Ambrose's back bumper before pulling alongside him. Race control announces that Ambrose is the leader, and Robby soon acquiesces, dropping to 2nd.
Well, actually, trying to hear where Robby Gordon is going to be in the restart order here, as NASCAR is looking at some video and trying to sort out the running order, when the caution came out and who goes where and so on. We're hearing that he's not going to be the second car in line.
Indeed, since he didn't maintain caution speed, he must drop to 12th place. But he doesn't.
So we're coming to the green flag. We're being Robby Gordon's still in line in 2nd place on the racetrack. We're being told that he is going to be back around 12th place after they've reviewed the scoring and put him in and determined that that's where he should be. That's what we're hearing. He still hasn't yielded that spot on the racetrack yet.
Robby's crew chief, Eddie Buffington, tells him over the radio that he has to drop back, to which he replies,
No.
What's said next is a little hard to hear because Alan Bestwick is talking over it, but I've done my best to transcribe it.
But
Head forward, behind the 33. We need to get behind the 33 or we're going to get black flags. Behind the 33.
That's what's going on now as we come to the restart. So Andy Pilgrim in the 88 car for Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team is going to be in 2nd place. We've still got a couple guys side by side there.
One spot if we go behind the 33. Green, white, checkered.
The
33, I don't see him.
So Robby is refusing to budge. His position is that they should sort out any potential penalties after the finish and give him a chance to race for the win. But NASCAR won't budge, and as a consequence of staying up front, Robby's laps will no longer count. It looks like Ambrose and Gordon will battle for the win, but no matter which one of them crosses the line first, Ambrose will go to victory lane. But that's not what's going to happen, because Robby won't let it happen. His car is directly behind the 59, and as much as NASCAR officials may hate it, the laws of physics still apply to his car. He still takes up space on the racetrack, which allows him to do this.
There it is. Couldn't see that coming, could you?
Post-race, Marcus will say that he knew this was coming and that he and his team discussed pulling over to let him pass to try to prevent it. But, he says, I've got 2 laps to go and I'm trying to win the race. If somebody's going to take me out, they're going to take me out. If they feel strong enough, they're going to do it. After what seems like a moment of deliberation, ESPN takes the focus off of Robby and moves back to the real battle for the win, as Kevin Harvick passes a wounded Andy Pilgrim, who was unable to avoid Ambrose's spinning car at the start of the lap. Carpentier makes his way to 2nd and closes in on Harvick, but even after using the bumper, it isn't enough. Kevin Harvick crosses the line behind the black flag Robby Gordon and wins the inaugural Napa Auto Parts 200. On his way through turn 3, he has to navigate around Robby, who's doing celebratory donuts. As Kevin comes back onto the front stretch to celebrate, Robby joins him. Kevin's about to start his burnout, but Robby pulls alongside him to do a burnout of his own, and Kevin kind of slinks away like Robby suddenly made burnouts uncool. I assume NASCAR was on the radio telling him not to lend any legitimacy to Robby's antics. And then Patrick Carpentier just starts doing donuts for fun. Fuck it, who cares? Post-race, Marty Smith tries to interview Robby.
Well, if you want to know my opinion, I won the race. So I completed all the laps, and if you've seen this happen before, guys get spun when they slow down. That's exactly what happened with Marcus. He spun me when I slowed down, and they tell me I'm going to go back to 17th. It's not the way it is. It's happened many times. They set precedents before, and we'll appeal it. We won this race.
You chose not to go do the black flag and stay out on the racetrack.
I went back to
NASCAR
position after I was spun, like it's happened many times before, okay?
Thank you, Robby. Guys.
To be fair to Robby, he certainly got spun when the caution was already out. But it certainly looks like his intention with staying up front was to dump Ambrose on purpose. Here's what NASCAR's managing director of communications, Ramsey Poston, said to FrontStretch.com about the finish. The 55 did not maintain cautious pace, and by NASCAR rule, cars not maintaining cautious pace are scored only when they blend back into the continuous line. He goes on to say that Eddie Buffington acknowledged the decision, but Robby ignored it, and that after he spun Ambrose, he was immediately parked as far as timing and scoring were concerned. Robby, in a post-broadcast interview, sticks with his belief. Marcus spun me under caution, or whatever his name is. I guess some things never change. Robby will be suspended from tomorrow's Cup race at Pocono and fined $35,000. He may have been right to be desperate in the moment, as that would turn out to be his final shot at a NASCAR win. His best Busch Series finish after today will be a 7th place at Charlotte later that year, although he will score a 2nd in the Cup Series race at Sonoma in 2010. Oddly enough, this is the same race where Marcus Ambrose is burned by the maintaining cautious pace rule when he stalled from the lead under caution. Later in 2010, Robby would return to Montreal for the first time since 2007. When a reporter tells him this, Robby replies, "You mean since I won?" Robby Gordon, during his career, was an incredibly talented driver in multiple disciplines. It takes a special type of talent to win multiple kart races and multiple NASCAR Cup Series races. If he had done a few things differently, his reputation may have ended up closer to Tony Stewart, someone who could be fast in anything and always a threat to win. But he gave up numerous chances at victory throughout his career, whether it be by focusing on a lap car instead of the guy behind him, leaving Richard Childress Racing to start his own backmarker team, or just generally causing a scene wherever he went. Robby Gordon's reputation in auto racing will forever be uniquely his, because at every possible opportunity, he just had to be Robby.